Imagine, if you will, the profound sense of hope and anticipation. Picture yourself returning home after years, perhaps even generations spent in exile, far from everything you've ever known. Imagine the longing, the yearning for familiar sights and sounds. For the people of Judah, returning to Jerusalem was more than just a homecoming. It was a deeply spiritual and national event. It was a chance to reclaim their identity. It was a sacred opportunity to rebuild their nation's heart and soul. The temple in Jerusalem, the center of their worship and community. Led by Jeshua the high priest and Zerubbabel the governor, they understood the importance of spiritual renewal. So they first rebuilt the altar, reconnecting with God through sacrifice and prayer, before laying a single stone of the new temple. This was a symbolic act of faith. The city, once silent with despair, now echoed with prayers, and the sounds of offerings rising to the heavens, a bold and powerful sign that God's people had indeed come home, ready to rebuild their lives and their faith. When the temple's foundation was finally laid, after so much anticipation and hard work, joy and tears mingled in a powerful display of emotion. The young people celebrated with unrestrained enthusiasm, dancing and singing, while the elders wept openly, their hearts heavy with the memories of the magnificent glory of Solomon's temple, now lost but not forgotten. This was far more than just a construction project. It was a symbol of hope, reborn from the ashes of despair, faith put into action, brick by brick, and a powerful declaration that their sacred relationship with God would be fully restored, stronger than ever before. Against all odds and facing numerous challenges, they began again, with renewed determination, anchored firmly in their unwavering faith, the strength of their families and the power of collective prayer. Their long and arduous journey of restoration had only just begun, but their spirit was unbreakable. As the monumental task of Jerusalem's rebuilding began to unfold, word spread far and wide. Soon, outsiders, individuals from neighboring regions, approached the returning exiles with apparent offers of assistance. They presented themselves as allies, eager to lend a hand in restoring the city to its former glory. But beneath the surface of their seemingly generous offers, their true motives were far from pure. A hidden agenda lurked, masked by false smiles and deceptive handshakes. Zerubbabel and Jeshua, discerning leaders guided by wisdom, wisely refused their assistance. They sensed the underlying deceit and understood the potential dangers of accepting help from those with questionable intentions. They knew, with unwavering conviction, that this sacred task was meant to be undertaken by God's chosen people alone, a testament to their faith and dedication. Rejected and exposed, the neighbors, consumed by resentment, turned hostile, their initial facade of friendliness crumbling into open animosity. They launched a relentless campaign of threats, seeking to intimidate the builders and undermine their resolve. They spread malicious rumors designed to sow discord and create an atmosphere of distrust. They used fear as a weapon, hoping to break the builders' spirits and halt the progress of the rebuilding effort. Day after day, the weight of discouragement grew heavier, threatening to crush the hopes of those who had returned to rebuild. The work, once fueled by passion and determination, slowed to a crawl under the relentless pressure of this psychological warfare, a constant barrage of negativity and intimidation. The opposition, driven by envy and malice, desperately wanted the dream of a rebuilt Jerusalem to die, to fade away into the dust of broken promises. They were hoping that the people, weary and disheartened, would eventually give up, abandoning their sacred task and returning to lives of quiet desperation. Every act of faith, every brick laid, every prayer uttered, faced fierce resistance, a constant reminder of the forces arrayed against them. Yet despite the overwhelming odds, the people pressed on, their determination fueled by an unwavering belief in God's promise. They were learning a profound lesson, that great works undertaken for God's glory will always attract opposition, a test of faith and perseverance. The struggle to rebuild Jerusalem was not merely a physical endeavor, it was as much a spiritual battle, a fight against the forces of darkness seeking to thwart God's plan. When intimidation failed, Judah's enemies turned to politics, sending false accusations to the Persian kings. They claimed the Jews were rebels, twisting history to halt the temple's progress. King Artaxerxes, swayed by these lies, ordered the work to stop. Armed with royal authority, the adversaries forced the builders to abandon the site. The city fell silent, hope seemed lost as half-built walls stood in the dust. The people's spirits were crushed by a decree they could not fight. It looked as if the enemy had won, and faith was put to the ultimate test. Would God's promise outlast the silence of kings? In the midst of despair, God sent Haggai and Zechariah to reignite hope. Haggai challenged the people to put God first, linking their struggles to neglecting the temple. Zechariah brought visions of a glorious future, reminding them, "Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit." Inspired, Zerubbabel and Jeshua led the people to resume building, defying the king's order. The prophet's words cut through fear, restoring courage and purpose. The people risked everything, trusting God's promise over earthly authority. Once again, the sound of construction filled Jerusalem, this time fueled by resilient faith. God's plan was back in motion. As work resumed on the temple, a renewed sense of purpose filled the air. The builders, energized by the prospect of completing their sacred task, returned to their labor with unwavering dedication. However, the resumption of construction did not go unnoticed. Officials, ever watchful and perhaps skeptical, questioned the builders about their authority and the legitimacy of their endeavor, but the builders stood firm and boldly declared their mission, stating it was a divine commission from God and a royal decree from King Cyrus himself. Their conviction was unwavering, their voices filled with faith. Governor Tattenai, intrigued and perhaps a little concerned, decided to report the matter to King Darius, seeking clarification and guidance on how to proceed. King Darius, a just and wise ruler, ordered a thorough search of the royal archives, determined to uncover the truth behind the builders' claims. And there, amidst the ancient records, they found Cyrus's original decree, a testament to his benevolence and a clear mandate for the temple's reconstruction. Upon confirming the decree, Darius not only allowed the work to continue without interference but embraced the project wholeheartedly. He ordered royal support, providing resources and manpower to ensure the temple's swift and successful completion. With the king's backing, all opposition vanished, melting away in the face of royal authority and divine favor. The temple rose quickly, its walls reaching towards the heavens as a symbol of hope and renewed faith. At last, the temple was finished, a magnificent structure standing proudly against the skyline. It was a moment of overwhelming joy for the people, a culmination of years of hardship and unwavering belief. The people dedicated it with sacrifices, offering their gratitude to God, and celebrated Passover with renewed fervor, remembering God's faithfulness throughout their long journey. Years of struggle ended in triumph, a testament to their resilience and unwavering devotion. Their perseverance and faith had brought the dream to life, transforming a vision into a tangible reality. God had turned their sorrow into celebration, replacing despair with hope and filling their hearts with gratitude. He was completing what he had begun, fulfilling his promises and demonstrating his unwavering love for his people.